Yeah, man. So I am, I guess you would say, I don't know, I guess what you would call it, but I've closed probably about a little over half a dozen deals. I have a wholesale deal closing next week.
Congrats,
And
man.
my question, yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot from you, especially pulling, the government list thing. I pull a bunch of those. And so I actually have, just quick, those are some of my closing statements right there on the wall.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, man. So I got one closing next week. So my thing is, I feel like I'm kind of I wouldn't say stuck, but I'm trying to figure out how I can take the success I've had to the next level. So I have a virtual assistant that's coming on with me on the 23rd, so next Monday. And I'm kind of at a point to where I'm trying to see how can I take this thing to the next level, because right now it's just me. I'm a solo guy. I'm doing everything. I'm literally actually right now getting ready to text blast a pre-foreclosure list. That's what I'm working on. And so just trying to figure out like what can I do to take it to the next level.
This is easy, man. Dude, I can tell you. Now, let me tell you something, not to get you excited, but because I've helped a lot of people go from 0 to 100K to $500,000.
Yeah.
Every single step of the way. 0 to 100K is the hardest one.
Mm.
0 to like 5 deals is the hardest one. 1 to 2 is easier. 2 to 3, 4 to 5, it just gets easier, right? Because you have more experience and you've got some momentum going. All right, we do not want to stop what's going on, okay? Because once you stop, it's going to get a lot harder to go back on there to that pace. Because it's kind of like a rocket ship, right? When the atmosphere is thinning, it's easier just to go. It's that initial liftoff is the hardest part because gravity is the strongest. And so you kind of asked me this question, and I have to ask you a question. This is the only way I'm going to know what to do for you, okay?
Okay.
First of all, past 5 deals, what did you do to get those deals? And what are we going to do to do more of those? I'm telling you, just do what's working for you right now and max that out, output more of that, because we don't want to stop what's working.
Okay.
And then go to the next part. So tell me.
Yeah. What do you think also for 2023 putting out bandit signs? So I just put out 100 bandit signs actually. Let's see. So I put out. I've never done bandit signs before. I put out about 100 bandit signs. So I'm in Atlanta, but I'm in Metro Atlanta. So I'm right outside of Atlanta. But I just put out, like I said, about 100 bandit signs.
Nice.
And so, what do you think about signs in 2023? Is it an outdated thing? Does it still work, you think, or what?
Here's the thing, Adrian, and I'm going to say this nicely, man. Dude, I'm such a data freak. I love the numbers, man. So here's the thing. If you put 100 signs out and you're not getting any good results or any calls, probably not worth it. If you're getting some calls, some leads, keep it up. Same thing, government list. If you, let's say you did code violations, did well, that's an indicator it should do well, and we should do more of that. If you're doing something, it fails, don't do that, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like I hate to say it, but like you kind of look at like really young people or like kids, and like that's how they learn a lot. And they run fast and break things. And what's working, do that, and what's not working, don't do that. And once you start going at that, do this, do that mentality, it works really well. And so it's kind of how my journey started. I did bandit signs, it worked well. I just kept doing bandit signs until I couldn't do any more. And then I tested all these things out. It worked really well. Cold calling worked really well. Okay, let's cold call code violation. That worked well. Let's cold call pre-foreclosure. That sucked. And I just test things out. And there's always something to gain from doing it. Now, bandit signs, there's a million ways to do that. I know people in Atlanta that do well in bandit signs, so I know that market's going to be good. Where are we talking in Atlanta? Because there's like a million.
So I'm on the west. So I'm in a city called Douglasville. But of the deals I've closed, they've been all over. So the one I'm closing next week is in Decatur. I've closed one in like Paulding County. But I live in Douglasville, and I actually just put about half of my bandit signs probably out here in Douglasville, a few in small little towns around it, but I'm kind of west.
Yeah, I see that, man. You're in Douglas. That's metro, but like that's all suburbs.
Yeah, it's metro. Yeah, it's suburbs.
So it's still metro, but like you got a lot of really good cities, dude. Like Dallas is decent, Powder Springs, but like really Marietta's a really good one too. Decatur. I found the east side's always a little better for some reason, but honestly, dude, Atlanta's so big, you can make it all work, man. I know a lot of wholesalers like that. So honestly, don't feel like you have to do the area you live in. Specifically, like anything in a radius, you're good to go. But like, dude, what lists have been working really well? Because it's all about the lists, the channels, and the area. What lists have been working well for you?
So about half of my deals that I just showed you on the wall have in probates. I do really good with probates here in Georgia. The only thing about probates is, as you know, a lot of times you have to wait them out, and it could take, sometimes they want to move, they're at their own pace. And Roswell, so they were like, yeah, we're just, I told them, I said, look, this offer is good for about a week and a half. and so they were like, well, so after that, are you not, interested in the house anymore? I was like, well, no, I'm still, interested, but like, we got to make a decision. But probates have been, very well for me. The biggest check I've ever made, wholesaling has been 15 grand that came from a probate deal. So, yeah, probates have been the best for me. It's just trying to figure out, like I say, how to kind of grow this thing. I got this, virtual assistant starting, and many people have been saying I shouldn't get one, but it's like, it's so much because I pull a bunch of government lists. So like I said, I do probate, I do code violations, evictions, and I pull them from all these different counties. And it just becomes a lot because, as you know, when you get these government lists, they don't come, cookie cutter, ready to go. You have to kind of sort through them, reorganize them. And so that's why I want to have a virtual assistant, because like a lot of this stuff I just can't do on my own. Like it just takes so much time to do.
As soon as VAs pull the probates for them, dude, I get it. You can't click a button, you can't buy the list. That's why it's working so well for it. So what is the point of the VA I want for you? It's the point I make a VA for me. What the VA needs to do for you is going to be a mini Adrian, okay? We're going to make a version of you, and they're going to do exactly what you do, okay? The VA is not going to do anything special. What working for you, that's what we're going to do. So Adrian, what are you really special at? Talking to the sellers, locking up the deals, and connecting with them, right? Yeah. You pulling the probate list and doing all the sorting for hours, that's not special. That's something you specially like, right? Yeah. So what I need you to do, which this is going to suck, but if you're going to VA, I want you to do it the right way. I literally spend an hour, 2 hours pulling the probate list, doing everything I've done in the past, screen recorded it, and just recorded myself talking about it. And so guess what? And then I give that to the VA, and I'm like, this is what I did.
That's what I did. So I'm glad you said that, because that's exactly, literally, I have about 6 videos that I'm about to send that I put in my Google Drive to where I'm just gonna show her. But my thing is like, I don't know.
I'll upload them on your personal YouTube as an unlisted video as a backup too.
Yeah, I try, but they keep taking it down. They keep saying it's, I don't know. YouTube's funny. Whatever. They keep taking it down. But yeah, I put it in Drive, and I'm gonna send it out to her. She's from the Philippines. It's $6 an hour, and I'm just gonna have them doing data entry. So when I go and pull, so it's the 15th today. So tomorrow I'll pull all the government stuff from the 1st to the 15th. And I'm just gonna have her doing, data entry. Is that kind of what some of your VAs do for you?
Yeah, they're also, I teach them to go into the clerk of the court and actually pull the list if they can get the list. So it depends because there's like 4 or 5 counties in that Atlanta area that you can do. And so I'll have them go in for the areas that I'll have to go in there and go to the court cases, copy and paste, property appraiser, cross-reference, all that fun jazz. And I just record myself for 2 hours doing an entire list for the county, 500 of them, and just show them how to do it. They watch that video. I kind of type out like step by step what to do. I made a manual too. I'm very OC with the organization, and I send it to them. And then we do a Zoom for like an hour or 2, and I hold the list I literally do it with them, then record that on top of them. And next, when they do their thing, there's kind of no excuse for them not to know what to do. Yeah. And then boom, they can go back to that video, see how to do it the right way, and they do all the stuff that sucks.
Yeah, because this is one of the only parts that suck. Like even putting out these freaking bandit signs today, dude. I put them all out yesterday and today. And when I tell you that was like the most tired I have ever been putting out these signs, I'm like, God, a couple deals need to come from these freaking signs.
Adrian, you're talking to the guy at 17. I did 50 to 100 a week for an entire year, dude, okay? Yeah. Like, I know the pain. And this is at 4 a.m. because, dude, traffic. You're in Atlanta. You know traffic. You know traffic, man, okay? I didn't want to deal with the highway traffic. So I got up at 4 or 5 a.m. because I had school that day and just did it. It's never fun. Put headphones in, put a hat on, and I just went at it, man, right? So like, dude, I get it. there's better ways to do it. And after I got some deals, dude, I just hired people to put them out. But you got to test it out first, man. So you're doing the right thing. Make that mini-me of you for the VAs, for the probate, and then just start adding them to do everything. So let's do the probates first, and I want you to get back to me and let you know how they're doing it. But literally, think of you and saying, how can I create another version of me, just splice myself, and that person only does the stuff I don't like doing.
Oh, that would be great if I had that.
First thing for probates, man, is just pulling the list. And so a VA, let's say you kind of have a clone, right? You're going to have to, that clone is only going to do what you tell it to do. So if you kind of tell them to sloppily do it, they're going to sloppily do it. If you give them like a regiment step-by-step video analysis, you actually put time into actually showing them how to do it the right way, they're going to be a lot better. It's kind of like a dog, man, right? Like you can teach a dog to be disciplined, but like if you're really strict with it, not in a mean way, but like really like they're going to be a lot better. Is it the dog? No, it's how you train them. I'm not calling VAs dogs, like but like how you train them. Kind of like kids. You see kids that are very well behaved, and you see kids that are not well behaved. A lot of it's not because of the kid; it's how they're trained and parented. So same thing with your VA, man. And so I want you to be very, very concise. A lot of great step-by-step directions, and I think you'll do very well. But yes, data entry is really important, but pulling the list on top of that is going to be really important. And I want the VA to really pull the probates and make an Excel for me of the first name, property address, deceased name, and then the heir's name. Beautiful, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's what I have. I have a little Excel sheet, and that's exactly what I do. I just do because I do a bunch of texting. Texting is the easiest thing for me, just because cold calling can be a lot by myself. So texting has worked very great because I'm able to text 500 people in 2-3 hours, right? So that's been great. But yeah, I really want to also start cold calling more, because oftentimes also when I'm looking through these lists, I typically kind of sift out the ones that are landlines, and then I'll just send them mailers. But yeah, so like the ones that are landline, I'll just send mail, because I don't cold calling, I can do it. It just takes so much time, man. It's just like texting, it's just so campaign, and yeah, cold calling is a lot. I mean, and honestly, if I hire, I honestly don't want to hire a Filipino VA to cold call. I kind of would want to have a VA that's based here, that way they don't have a super strong, accent. I think that kind of, because, just here, especially here in the South, like when people answer the phone and they hear a, accent, their first, reaction is click, right? Versus like, whenever I call, and I'm like, hey, this is Adrian, and I'm calling about, 123 Main Street. It's a totally different, kind of response. So, do you all use?
A quick tip. So, as someone that wholesales virtually in the South, and I mean, I'm in Florida, not considered the South, but we'll talk about that another day. My grandparents, Rick's parents, are like all like Atlanta, Southern accent type thing, but like not me or Rick, right? We're Florida guys, and like Florida's a little different. But like what I can tell you is, yes, that accent's gonna throw people off. But you know what accent doesn't really throw people off too much? Like the Spanish accent. Like it's pretty used to, right? We got celebrities that speak Spanish. Everyone loves A-Rod. Like it's not. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans in Atlanta, right? Like it's not too crazy, right? And so if you have one from like a VA from Mexico, and they have like a slight Spanish accent, it's really not going to throw people off. It's really not, compared to like someone from the Philippines. And so I think that's going to be a happy medium you can look at. Okay. Versus you can do American one, but like honestly, no one's really going to care if it's like Spanish. Plus, even a Spanish person is going to be perfect. But I think that's what you're probably most likely going to be in the future. But let's do mini-me version 1. Okay, there's a lot of mini-me's we can do for you. Let's do the probate first, because that's really important, and we'll get on the cold calling next. Okay, let's work on the VAs first, and then get back to me, and I'll help you out with the other, because the cold callers is a completely league in its own compared to the list home. Okay, so that's a whole different thing I can tell you about.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cold calling actually affects the money. Okay, the data entry is important, but like anyone can do it. We gotta get our cold callers right. Yeah. Well, I mean, she starts next Monday, and I watch all the time, so I'll definitely hop on and let you know how it goes. All right, keep it up, Adrian. I love it. All right, thank you, man. Thanks for all you do. Take care.